No, I mean, so it was basically like 6 weeks of hell. Because so at the time this he got sick in late March, and so this is kind of right when COVID became a thing in the
Right.
U.S. So, now the CDC kind of has guidelines about how long you need to quarantine, when you need to quarantine, like what the circumstances are. Um, my dad, since it was so early, this was before they kind of had established those
Yeah.
guidelines. And since I had been around him, I had to quarantine with my mom and my youngest sister at home for I want to say it was like 5 or 6 weeks. And so, he was sitting there dying in the hospital on life support, and like we couldn't see him or anything because we were quarantined. And so, yeah, it was not a fun experience. I was basically just sitting around the house all day, in isolation for about 6 weeks. So it sucked really bad. But yeah, that didn't factor into my
Yeah.
decision to leave
Did it
Ole
get
Miss.
to a point? Did it get to a point though, Eli, where you thought you were going to lose him? Like,
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, he was pretty much dead. So the way it was described to us is that on his ninth day on the ventilator, he had a 5% chance of ever coming off. And if he made it to day 13 on the ventilator, his chances of coming off were statistically insignificant. And he stayed on that ventilator for either 20 or 21 days. So I mean, he was
yeah.
statistically supposed to be dead. So it was really a hell of a story.
And
Um,
what's it like? How's he doing now? And um, like, what was that? What was it? How long did it take to get him home? And what's he like now? Is he doing good?
Yeah, so he had to spend about another month in the hospital after he came off the ventilator. And I mean, at first, I mean, it was he's progressively kind of gotten better and better. And now, I mean, he's back to his normal self. I'd say he's, fully recovered.
Okay, cool. Um, Football wise, back to football. What did you like about? I haven't seen Ole Miss play that much, but what did you like about the actual offense that you saw on tape or whatever made you choose New Mexico State from a football standpoint? You mentioned
Uh,
the
you know,
schedule, but
so they run it's an air raid. So they're throwing the ball more than what I was used to. Here, the year I started at Ole Miss, the offense coordinator was Rich Rodriguez, and so we had a really heavy run game. We were probably running the ball 65% of the time. I think with Coach Martin at New Mexico State, they told me they like to throw a little bit more, so they'll
yeah,
be more. Putting the ball in the air more. So that'll be a difference for me. But there wasn't really anything in particular from an offensive schematic standpoint, because everybody kind of does the same things up front.
yeah,
Everybody's running inside zone, everybody's running outside zone, everybody's running, power, counter, and duo. I mean, there's only so many
yeah.
different ways you can block. And so the particular offensive, scheme didn't really play any role into my decision. It was more just, you know, they had a need, and I fit that need, and so I feel like that they bring a lot to the table to offer me, and then I can help them too.
What's what's your strength as a player? I mean, what would you say?
I feel like my strengths as a player are my intelligence and my physicality. I feel like
Yeah,
I'm a physical player, and I feel like I'm a smart player, and I'm gonna. I'm gonna be able to, I'm gonna do my best to get everybody in the right calls, and try to, set the tempo up front, and play physical, and just kind of fight with people up there. So I'd say, those are kind of my strengths as a player.
were you kind of a leadership type guy for the offensive line at Ole Miss when you were there, or
Yeah, I mean, whoever's snapping the ball
yeah,
generally, there's an added role, of responsibility, just from a function standpoint, making all the calls and setting the protections and identifying the fronts and things of that nature. And so yeah, I was, I had that role here, and so I'm comfortable doing that.
How old are you, Eli?
22.
22. Okay. Okay. Well, that's all I have for you, man. I appreciate your time. Like, I wanted to reach out to you. What's your timeline? Like, you haven't officially signed yet. I saw that you committed. Like, I don't know how that works now with COVID. So, do you sign and then come out here in
Yeah,
January, or?
yeah. So I should be signing. I just put my application in today, so I should be signing the paperwork any day now. And so yeah. So they explained it to me. The report date is January the 8th, and
Okay.
so I'm probably going to get out there January 2nd or 3rd.
Okay. Thanks, man. Well, I look forward to meeting you in person, and I appreciate your time, Eli.
Yes, sir. Nice meeting you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.